Peace, peace, peace. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who don't know, it's your boy Vic Sling Hope. And I got another video for y'all. Another one of the 48 laws of power. This one is law number 46. Never appear too perfect. I want y'all to really pay attention to this law. Okay? Because it's very, very, very important. And it could save your life. It can save your life. So pay attention. The judgment says, appearing better than others is always dangerous. But the most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults or weaknesses. Envy creates silent enemies. It is smart to occasionally display the defects and admit to harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. Only gods and the dead can seem perfect with impunity. Now, before I even go into the explanations, the last sentence, I want to get to that. Only God and the dead can seem perfect without impunity. Notice how when people die, people always have this saying of, oh, they're in a better place. Oh, they looking down on us, right? It's almost like when people die, we just forget about all the negative things they done. We forget about all the wrong. We try not to talk about the bad things they done. It's almost like their record is clean, right? So this is kind of like what it's talking about. Only God, right? Like we view gods like in a certain light, right? For the people that believe in multiple gods. But we hold God in a certain standard, right? Like God can do no wrong, right? The same way, like when people die, we kind of like don't like to bring up the wrongs that they have done. So that's kind of like what it was talking about. The example in the book, there was a few examples that they gave. The first example that I want to read, that I want to talk to y'all about, is the example of these two individuals who went to school together. They end up falling in love with each other. They move in together, and they started working together. They used to write plays together, and write short films, like films, plays, and books, right? But they was partners, so they was working together, they was eating together, they was getting money together, they was equals, right? And what started happening is one of them started excelling above the other one. And when one started excelling above the other one no longer felt like they was the equal to this person. So they started feeling envious and jealousy, because now when they was going to places, ballrooms, events, everybody wanted to talk to one person and not the other. Everybody was praising one person and not the other. So that brew jealousy, contempt, insecurities, all type of negative behaviors in the other person towards this person, and it's not even their fault, right? So long story short, what ended up happening is the envious person ended up killing the person that they loved, right? The person that they became so envious. Because what happens with envious people is this: the more success that you achieve, because envious people be low-key wishing that you fail, right? They low-key be wishing that you have weaknesses, that you have some issues. That's why it says do not appear too perfect, because people start to envy that. So this is what envious people do. The more victories you accomplish, the deeper and darker their envy becomes, right? So it became to the point where this person couldn't take it, and the person killed him, and they killed themselves. Right now they were equal. They were equal in death. It's a sickness, man. It's a sickness. Another example that they gave was of this family in Europe. There was two families. One family was, had the power, and then there was another family coming up, and the family that was already in power started to become envious of the family that was coming up. So they conspired against them, against their prince or whatever. Long story short, he ended up getting exiled, but he ended up being able to come back. But he was smarter. He learned from this, right? And what he learned was, you can't flaunt your money. You can't be out there. You can't appear that you are better than people. So he started dressing a certain way. He started hanging out with like the peasants. When he bought his house, he didn't buy like a extremely extravagant home. He bought a regular home. He wore regular clothes, like no jewels and stuff like that. And this is, and he blended in with the people, right? So he appeared like he didn't have the money and the influence that he really had. So what he did was, behind the scenes, he owned a lot of stuff. Sometimes through other means, through banks, through other businesses. Like some people do that today, right, with LLCs and trust and other things. They own things that is not attached to their name. So when you look it up, it don't even look like it belonged to you. You get what I'm saying? So he kind of like owned things through different means, not necessarily through himself. So a lot of people didn't even know what he had his hands into, but his appearance gave the appearance of a regular humble man. And this is the thing with envy, right? It says only a minority can succeed at the game of life, and that minority inevitably arouses the envy of others around them. This happens all the time. Now, I'm going to go to, like, everybody's not going to make it. For example, there's about 500 players right now playing in the NBA. But how many people do you think try to make it to the NBA? How many thousands? Probably hundreds of, probably millions of kids grow up picking up a basketball. Everybody not going to make it, right? The game, the system is set up. Life is set up like that. We not all going to make it. So what happens is, the people who we know this, the people that got the jewels, they got the cars, they got it happens in the hood all the time. Who's the first people that become victims of robberies and all of these things, right? It's the people that is flaunting what they got. They showing you the rollie, they doing all they showing you money. These are the people that get robbed. These are the people that get killed by the envious people. You got people who are hungry. I'm not saying it's right, but this is just what happens. You got people who are hungry. You got people who are destitute. You got people who, they just feel like you antagonizing them because you flaunting it, you showing it in their face. You get what I'm saying? Especially if you ain't helping people eat. And even when you do help people eat, envious people view it as a charity. Nobody likes charity. Some people do take the charity, right? The people that can't help it. But certain people, when you feel superior, or when you are superior than them, and they notice that, and you try to like give them things, that's why it doesn't work, right? Once somebody's already envious of you, they already have you. They're already an enemy. They are a silent enemy, and they're gonna conspire and plot. They're just gonna do that. So even if you try to help them out, because in the book they talk about how this, the two partners, one try to help the other person out so they could, get out of their funk, and maybe they could feel better about themselves. They felt like this person was giving them charity. And if a person is giving you charity, it's usually somebody that probably got the money to be able to give you the charity. So it's still like a sign of, I'm superior and better than you. I can't tell you how many times I just be having a regular car, and this is not even compared to like what's going on here, right? But even outside of money, I can't tell you how many times people been envious of me just because I study, just because I know certain things. And they'll be like, you think you know it all. You think you this. You think you that. You think you smart. You like, all of that does is shows their insecurities. It shows how they really feel about you. It shows the contempt. When they come around you and people are praising you, you see it in their face. Like they're not happy for you. When you tell them about the good things that happen in your life, you see it in they can't even hide it. They might be like, oh, I'm so happy to hear that. But their facial expression, you could tell when somebody's giving you a fake, I'm so happy for you. It's in the eyes. It's in the mouth area. You get what I'm saying? Like when somebody's eyes get big, like wow, like, and they really be excited. You could tell when somebody's excited for you, and you could tell when somebody's just like, they're just saying something. So this is the thing with the envious person. Once it's already in their heart, they're trying to knock you off your high horse. That's why it says appearing better than others is always dangerous, but the most dangerous of all is to appear to have no faults and weaknesses. People hate that. I used to deal with a woman who was insecure. So what she used to do is, because she was insecure, right? Misery loves company. Because she was insecure, she used to try to say things to try to like manipulate or see if I was insecure. I guess this trick worked with like her exes or men that she used to talk to. So she used to say things and do things to try to make me feel bad about myself. And it never worked. It never worked. And I used to know what she was doing, and I used to be like, yo, like, why why are you trying to do that? But again, this comes, a lot of times the envy and the secret enemies come from the people who are close to you. Envy creates silent enemies. It's Smart to occasionally display defects and admit harmless vices in order to deflect envy and appear more human and approachable. This is what this other dude did. He acted like he was poor. And I believe this is why a lot of people that got money, they wear simple things. I'm telling you, nothing good comes from flaunting and showing out in front of people's faces. I'm telling you. And it's okay to like nice things, but oftentimes you create more enemies than friends. I'm telling you right now. So I give you example of movies. Paid in Full. If you ever watch Paid in Full, there's a few examples in that movie of envy, because envy looks different in different ways, right? Envy doesn't always result in somebody killing you, right? Sometimes somebody snitch on you. But anyway, I'm gonna give you a few examples. Example, in Paid in Full, right? When Calvin came home, Calvin was the one that set up the robbery and tried to get what's the name robbed. You know what I'm saying? Ace, right? Ace hooked them up. Again, they don't like charity. The people who are envious of you, they don't want your charity. They want y'all to be equal. They don't want your handout. So they never gonna be satisfied. The dude Ace was like, yo, you good. All you gotta do is collect the money. You don't gotta work. You don't gotta do nothing. But the dude wanted to run the corner. He wanted to be a top dog. He wanted to be one of them dudes. He wanted to be running shit like the bosses. So he felt some type of way when Ace told him, bro, you're not getting the corner. You're just gonna chill, collect the money. That's an easy deal. To collect the money, just chill, kick your feet up and eat. But no, he wanted to be the man. So he ended up shooting Ace. He ended up trying to rob him and ended up shooting Ace. That's one example. Another example is of Rico. It's Mitch and his uncle. His uncle was like, yo, you got a pocket full of money. You got money, you got this, you got that. He wanted to get on. He wanted to be one of the dudes. He was like, yo, put me on. Like, he was like, I'm putting you on for. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mitch in his arrogance and it's like, man, I ain't got no money, man. He ended up kidnapping, right? His own family member, his nephew. He ended up kidnapping his nephew and asked for a ransom. Like, envy is a disease. Even with Rico, right? Rico, Mitch told him like, yo, Ace gave me this money. I mean, he gave me these drugs. He said, yo, help me sell it so I could get Sonny back. For y'all that don't know the movie, for y'all that don't know it, my bad. And look, he killed him and took the drugs. Envy. And what he told Ace after that, he said, why you ain't call me for that, man? Why you ain't trust me? The envy of Mitch being closer to Ace than him. You get what I'm saying? So envy looks different in different ways. Some people might say it's not envy, but whatever. Envy looks different. For example, in the movie Belly, when them dudes went out of state to sell drugs, right? What did them dudes do? The dude that was eating the banana, the illest nigga in Nebraska, he told on them. He called the feds, he called whoever he called, and he snitched on them. So envy displays itself in, the bottom line is they want your demise. It don't matter if you try to help people get on their feet. It don't matter what you do for them. They want you to level down or them level up. They want to either surpass you or they want to be at the same level as you. And if they cannot achieve that, it don't matter what you do. So the thing is, before somebody even gets envious, you got to know how to play the game. You got to know how to dress modestly. You got to know how to not flaunt stuff in people's face. Like the book said, you got to act like you got some weaknesses. You got to act like you imperfect, like you fuck up on purpose, so to make people feel, because a lot of people, you might be superior than a lot of people. You might be smarter than them. And this is something that I'm realizing. You might be smarter than people. And the moment you start quoting a lot of stuff, the moment people notice that you're smart, they feel intimidated in your presence. They feel insecure. They feel small. A lot of dudes kill people because of this, because they feel small in your presence. A lot of women hate on their friends because they feel small in their presence. A lot of your own homies, if they feel small in your presence, they hate. They become secret enemies. They try to line you up. They try to set you up, snitch on you, get you killed, get you robbed. They're plotting on you. They try to take your girl, smash her. Like, they just try to do certain things because they're envious, man. So I hope y'all take heed. But before somebody becomes envious, there's certain ways that you gotta move about. Sometimes you gotta take people's advice. Sometimes you gotta act like you don't really got what you got. You know what I'm saying? Drive a hoopty or drive a regular car. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got it. And it's crazy, you shouldn't have to do that. But you gotta know the game, man. You gotta know the game. Otherwise, you're gonna lose out here. I'm telling you. Because sometimes you ain't even gonna know where this shit gonna come from. Because of how envious and jealous your friends could become. But let me know what y'all thoughts are in the comment section. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Stay blessed. Peace.